Let's make frijoles salvadoreños. Hey guys, I'm Eunice from Ready to Be, your guide to vegan food and travel, and today I'm excited because I'm making one of my favorite staple dishes, Salvadoran red beans. If you are Salvadorian or familiar with Salvadoran culture, you know that red beans are a staple. When I was in El Salvador, oh my goodness, I kid you not, everywhere I went, they were so good. I was like, I really don't need anything else. I could eat beans and rice all day, all day. It's one of my favorite things to eat. I'm gonna show you guys how to prepare them. It does take a while, but trust me, this labor of love is worth it. And then I'm gonna show you my favorite breakfast, el desayuno típico del Salvador, vegan. Oh, I could eat that breakfast every day of my life. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so the type of bean is important. If you want them directly from El Salvador, you can find this brand, and you can find them at a lot of different Latin American grocery stores or online, but make sure to look for Frijoles Rojo de Seda or red silk bean. And you can use any red bean that you want, but this just takes a little oomph because they are from El Salvador. I mean, the soil or something makes them taste better. So you're gonna put 2 cups in a pot, and you're just gonna rinse this and clean them off. And then you're just gonna soak them overnight or for a few hours until you're ready to cook them. The longer you soak them, the better, because it's gonna be easier for you to cook them, right? It's not gonna take as long. But if you don't have that time, you just take an extra little longer to cook them, right? No big deal. So after you rinse them and after they've been soaking for a while, you add more water, and you wanna add enough water where it covers about an inch or so from the top of the beans, okay? Now you're ready for what's gonna give these beans the flavor. You haven't turned on the flame yet, don't do that yet. So you're gonna need about 1/4 of an onion, because we're only doing 2 cups of beans. Obviously, if you're gonna do more beans, add more. But for 2 cups, we're doing 3 cloves of garlic, and we're also doing 1/4 of a bell pepper. This is very important because it really does give it a lot of good flavors. You're gonna cut this into smaller pieces. Then chile serrano, this is optional. Take out the seeds, you must do that because you don't want spicy beans. This is just really good for flavor. This particular chile was really spicy, so I only added 1/4 of what that chile was. Turn your heat to high, and you're gonna add all your aromatics, right? Your onions and garlic, whatever. And you're gonna wait for it to boil. Once it boils, reduce the heat to low, cover it up, and then you just cook it for about 45 minutes. This is the halfway point, because after that, this is when you add the salt. If you add the salt too early, it's gonna take much longer for you to cook the beans because it makes them hard. So you're gonna add your salt, make sure to taste the broth to make sure the salt is okay, not the bean, because then you're never gonna taste the correct salt level. And then you're gonna cook them for about another 45 minutes if you didn't soak them for that long, and obviously less time if you did soak them. Basically, you just know they're ready when they're nice and soft. And then you're ready to serve. Okay guys, they're finally done. Let's try these. Oh my gosh, it's 1.5 to 2 hours, but let me tell you, it's worth it. Oh gosh. If anything can taste like home, that's what this tastes like. Oh my gosh, like, I'm happy. And the other thing you can do also, if you're not gonna eat all of them, they freeze very well. So what I typically do is I make more than I'm gonna eat in a week, and I divide it up and freeze it. Whether it's refried or whole, delicious. All right, but let's check out the refried version. Okay, so for the refried version, you're gonna add some oil to a pan and that 1/4 of an onion and 1/4 of a bell pepper that we didn't use the last time. And you're just gonna let them char. Same with the serrano, add that serrano in there too. Then you're ready to put them all in the blender. You're gonna blend all the beans together with this. I had to do it in parts because I have a smaller blender. And then you're gonna blend them nice and smooth like that, and you cook them for as long as you want. If you want them a little thicker or thinner, depending on what you're using them for. For pupusas, you have to cook them for a longer time. So now for the breakfast. Okay, you start with a beautifully black plantain. The darker the better, because it's gonna be sweeter. And I like to slice them like this. So once they're sliced up, you're gonna add them to some more oil. So make sure the oil is hot enough, because if it's not hot enough, it's gonna just soak up in all the plantain and it's gonna be really oily, or if it's too hot, it's gonna burn. So make sure to add this to the pan, and you're just gonna fry them until they're nice and golden brown. Once they're done being cooked, you can add them to a paper towel to absorb the excess oil. Okay, so for the tofu eggs, you gotta have tomato. Put a whole chopped Roma tomato and the other 1/4 of an onion, chop that up, and then you're gonna add a little bit more oil to the pan, and add those onions first so they become translucent. For this, because I don't like to use a ton of oil, I add some water to steam them because I don't like crunchy onions in my eggs. So I add that to make them soft, and then I add the tomatoes and cook those together until it's all condensed down. It's almost going to be like almost saucy, right? Then you're going to break the tofu up with your hands, and you're just going to kind of all mix it in together. You want it to absorb all the flavor. Okay, so for the light seasonings, you add salt to taste, right? Just keep adding as much salt as you need to taste. Some garlic powder, some onion powder, and then some turmeric. This is going to give it the color and just that little hint of flavor that it needs for that like classic scrambled eggs. And you can also add black salt. I usually like to add that, but I didn't have it on hand. And you're just gonna put it all together till it looks like this, and look at this. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hungry just looking at it. Okay, so if you want this crema recipe, I also have it here and I'll link it up above. But that is important, and you serve it with avocados and plantains, and enjoy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that recipe. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know what other recipes you want to see. And you can make sure to check out my video from El Salvador if you're thinking about traveling there up here, or any other videos as well. Catch you guys next time on Rated V. Bye.